So we have constructed a measure previously, last adjusted close, which can show us the closing price for different kind of data frequencies, either daily or monthly or quarterly, which is here in this report. We have used the last adjusted close for daily data, for monthly data, and for quarterly data. Okay, so in here we actually didn't use that last adjust close for daily data, because the last adjust close is pretty much the same as the adjusted close column. Okay, so in a daily frequency, there's no difference between this adjusted close column and this measure called last adjust close. But for a monthly or quarterly frequency, definitely you want to use the last adjust close, because that's going to be the closing price of the last day in a month or quarter. You shouldn't use the adjusted close column, which is column and it's not well defined on a time interval like a month or a quarter. It's only defined for a particular date. Okay. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is we already have this last adjusted close measure defined before, and to accommodate or incorporate this new feature to control the period we want to see on Vero, we just utilize the original definition and make some changes. Okay, so I'll just copy this definition and I'll define a new measure which can incorporate the control of period. So I just pasted the old definition of this last adjusted close measure here. However, for this new measure, I'm going to make some changes. So the name is going to be changed to with a new suffix, period filter. And previously, we are utilizing the historical daily table without any constraints or kind of requirements regarding the period. Okay, so now we need to impose this constraint based on the selection the user make in this slicer. Okay, so that means we need to, instead of using this historical daily table in this index function, we're going to use a kind of constraint table or filter table. Okay, so to define that filter table, we're going to introduce the first step is going to be this definition of W, which is going to be this filter table. Okay, before after we kind of impose the filter based on the choice of period, then we use this filter table in this index function to kind of work out the rest of this definition. Okay, so the first step we're going to filter. So I'm going to use the filter function. We're going to filter this historical daily table. Okay, and the filter I'm going to impose is that the date of the date column in historical daily has to be greater or equal to this measure we previously defined called date start. Yes. So once this filter is kind of imposed, then this W table is no longer this historical daily table without constraint. It's incorporated this period constraint the user want to have in the historical daily table. Okay, so then instead of, again, we just change this table name to W. So the index function is going to work on this new table called W, which is filtered after incorporating the user's request for a particular period. Now this index function is going to work on this table W, which contains the trading days within the period requested by the user in this slicer. Then the index function is going to look at the current filter context in the Vero and takes last trading day within the filter context. Okay, so for example, if the filter context is a month, all right, then the index function is going to take the last trading day of the month. If the filter context is a trading day, well, the last trading day of that trading day is basically itself. Okay, so pretty much this last row variable will take the last trading day of any data frequency the user wants to look at, either daily or monthly or quarterly. This last row always takes the last trading day in a particular month, a particular quarter, or a particular day, which is that day itself. Okay. So lastly, when we get the last trading day of the current filter context, we take the closing date, the closing price of that trading day. So this will be returned as the value for this measure, last adjust close underscore period filter. Okay, so this min x function basically working on that variable called last row, which is all the information on that row related to the last trading day of the current filter context. Then this function will take the minimum of this data field, adjusted close data field. All right. So because we are only looking at one single row, this last row variable is just one single row. Okay. So the minimum of this data field is going to be this data field itself. So this mirror is constructed. Now we can build a variable that have this new measure and the date on the x-axis. Okay, so let's do that. Go to visualizations and a line chart. So this line chart will have the x-axis being the date under historical daily, and the last adjust close period filter as the y-axis. All right. So here we haven't choose any particular period yet. Okay, you can choose year to date. That is gonna be the entire year from well, because the sample period stops at October 9, 2024. So year to date is gonna be January 2nd, which is the first trading day. Okay, January 1st is a holiday, so trading day number 1 in 2024 is gonna be January 2nd. So year to date is gonna be from January 2nd all the way to the last trading day of the sample period. If you have 3 months chosen, then this entire period is gonna be 3 months from the last day of the trading, which is October 9th, 2024. So that's starting point will be, I suppose, will be June. Yeah, I'm sorry, July. Yes, July 9th, 2024. Okay. So depending on whichever period you choose, this video is gonna show you the requested period. Okay, and just a quick review. That's because why this video can show the period as requested, because you set you set in the measure a filtered data set instead of entire historical daily data set. You only use a filtered data set which contains trading days within the period that you requested, right? Because you require, so here's a filter you set, you require the date column or the data field to be greater or equal to the start date you set according to your choice. Okay, and this date start measure, which we constructed before, basically will have a value dependent on which particular field you request. Okay, so that's how we kind of manage to have this mirror where we can just choose the particular period we want. Okay.